Hello and welcome everybody to the Sports Plug. I am your host, Xavier Williams. If you are joining us for the first time and you are watching on YouTube, please make sure you subscribe and like the page on YouTube. If you are on Facebook, make sure you please like and share this post to make sure we get some more viewers watching the show. If you are living in Houston, Texas, of course, you heard about the news with Justin Verlander. First reports came out that he will be out for the rest of this season with an arm injury. Fortunately for Astros fans and also for Justin Verlander, reports a couple hours later came out by Justin Verlander himself on his personal Twitter, and he reported himself, the report that I'm currently missing the rest of the season is not accurate. There is a forearm strain. I'm hopeful that I will return with some rest. It will heal, and I'll be able to return soon. Thank you for all the well wishes. So, sigh of relief for you, the Astros fans out there. Looks like Justin Verlander is not out for the whole season, but he will be out for a couple of weeks due to a forearm strain. The real question is, will the Astros be able to hold up and play well in this 60-game stretch without Justin Verlander? That is the real question, because this season is a very unique season, unlike any MLB season before. Of course, a regular MLB season is 162 games. This year, we only have 60 games due to, of course, COVID-19. The 60-game stretch that they have right now is pretty much simulating the back half of that 162 game schedule, where they will pretty much be getting ready for the playoffs. Now you only have 60 games, and then you go straight into the playoffs, and they actually change the playoffs. How many teams are going to be added into the playoffs now? So you're going to have half of the MLB teams in the playoffs this upcoming year. So what I have in my head is, honestly, I think that there's going to be a lot of teams that are going to be playing for the World Series this year that you would not expect in years prior because of this weird schedule that we have. Will the Astros be able to play well without Justin Verlander? For what I've seen with Series 1 with the Washington Nationals, looks like the bats are still there. The bats look really, really good, of course. Looks like they picked up where they left off from 2019. And from now, we just have to wait until at least game 20, game 25, to see how the Astros are playing without Justin Verlander, because this is a short season, to where just because he's out several weeks does not mean that he's going to come back and play like he did before he left. This is another injury for Justin Verlander. He's been hurt the last 2 years for the Astros, and with him being a little bit older, it's going to take a little bit more time for him to recover fully from this type of injury. So it's going to be very, very interesting to see how the Astros play without Justin Verlander for these next 20 games. For the Astros, with their new manager, Dusty Baker, you have a veteran manager that's been around the game his whole life. Of course, not just as a manager, but also as a player. And the Astros made a great decision with choosing Dusty Baker as their manager, because he's somebody that knows how to handle this type of stress with a ball club. And one thing that he also said about the Astros, he said that he noticed that the Astros like to have a lot of fun. They had strobe lights after a win in the locker room, and he said he hasn't seen strobes like that since he was a player in his New York days. So the one thing about the Astros, they win hard and play hard, and they also party hard as well. So, like I said, shout out to the Astros fans. Justin Verlander is not out for the season. He will be out for a couple of weeks with a forearm strain. Rest easy, and we'll see. Hopefully, we'll see the Astros in the ALCS. Shout out to the Yankees fans out there. So, we move on to football. Are the Seattle Seahawks Super Bowl contenders after trading for Jamal Adams? My answer, honestly, yes. You have to go ahead and put Seattle as a favorite in the NFC right now with trading for Jamal Adams because now he just pretty much became the new Earl Thomas. He pretty much became that new piece that they needed to complete their new version of LOB 2.0. Will it be the same LOB? Of course it won't be. It's only one LOB, only one. But this new version of the Seattle defensive back group looks really good. You have, of course, veteran Russell Wilson. You have veteran head coach Pete Carroll. Even though their offense, it's pretty good. It's been pretty good in Seattle for about 10 years with, of course, Marshawn Lynch leading in the backfield. But now Russell Wilson has a couple of weapons. Besides Lockett, he also has DK Metcalf. So that offense is going to be even better next year. The offense is going to be even better next year with the second year with DK Metcalf in that offense. Russell Wilson is Russell Wilson. He's a magician, and he's really, really great at his job being a quarterback. And it's going to be very interesting to see how this Seattle team comes together and play really – I think they're going to play really good ball this upcoming season. And I'll be honest with you, I would not be surprised at all if we see him in the NFC Championship game this year. Mark my words, we might have to come back to this broadcast, or I'm saying this episode, and revisit this episode, but would not be surprised at all if the Seattle Seahawks are in at least the NFC Championship game. The big question is, did Seattle give up too much for Jamal Adams? That's something that I've seen around social media, of course, ESPN and Fox. So a lot of people feel like Seattle gave up too much for Jamal Adams. I feel like they did not. The reason why I say that is because certain teams are in win now mode. And the Kansas City Chiefs, I love everything about them. Offense, the coach, the defense. I love their swagger. I love everything about the Chiefs. But one thing about football compared to basketball or even baseball, it is hard not to just repeat, but to become a dynasty. What we've seen with the last 20 years with the New England Patriots, we've been very lucky and been very blessed to be able to watch this 20 years of reign that the New England Patriots have had over the NFL. It's hard to do that. It's very hard to do that in the NFL. And the Kansas City Chiefs, last quote that I've heard from Tyreek Hill, he said that they're not worried about 6. They're chasing Jordan. They're trying to get 7. They're trying to get 7 rings, okay? So if they feel like they can get 7 rings, okay, we're going to see. But from what I know about the NFL and for what I see, these teams don't care about the Kansas City Chiefs. They're doing everything that they possibly can to get ready and to get better for this upcoming season so they can win a ring this year. And one thing I know about Seattle, hey, the head coach and their quarterback, they will do whatever they need to do to find a way to win every game that they are at least competing in. So that's why I feel like Seattle did not give up too much. And just to recap on the trade, the Jets deal Jamal Adams in a 4th-round pick in 2022 to Seattle in exchange for Bradley McDougald, a 1st-round pick in 2021, a 3rd-round pick in 2021, and also a 1st-round pick in 2022. Now, another reason why we can't really answer the big question, did the Seattle Seahawks give up too much just yet, is because we have to wait and see what the Jets do with those picks and see what happens with those picks and see what the Jets, what they become as a Jet. To be completely honest, the Jets as an organization, at least in my lifetime and since 1990 until 2020, they're not going to do too much with those picks, okay? They're going to mess them up. They're going to mess them up. I'm telling you right now, just from my own experience. I mean, we can go all the way back to 1960 if we want to. We can go back to those days. Good old Joe Namath. We can do that if we want to. And if it takes a guy that's out, on the sideline wearing a cool fur coat and sunglasses and making sure he's out there running around with his finger waving because he told y'all boys that he's going to win a Super Bowl, that's the only way you're going to win a Super Bowl. Then, hey, sorry, New York Jets, y'all not going to win a Super Bowl anytime soon, okay? So Take those picks. Jamal Adams, I know he's happy he's not in New York anymore. Le'Veon Bell, don't be surprised. He'll be out of there soon too. I wouldn't be surprised at all if he's going to take a chapter out of Jamal Adams' page and try to be a little disgruntled in New York and get his butt up out of there too. But I would not be surprised at all if if Le'Veon Bell is with a new team. If not this year, then definitely next year. So, because I think his time is over with as a Jet. And speaking of people that had time and a little bit too much time, is a good friend, probably my half, third, fourth cousin, Lou Will. Now, of course, we know the song, 6 Men Like Lou Will, 6 Men Like Lou Will. But right now, it looks like Lou Will is going to have to quarantine like Lou Will due to him being out and about in Atlanta and being investigated, as we will see from Ramona Shelburne's tweet. She is the reporter for the NBA. She's reporting at Bobby Marks 42. The NBA is investigating what LA Clippers guard Lou Williams did while on an excused absence from the Orlando campus, so it can be assessed the length of his re-quarantine process. So what pretty much happened was, and we're going to scroll down and check this out right quick. So Lou Williams was photographed at an Atlanta gentleman club on Thursday night by the rapper, and we'll tell you right quick who snitched on Lou Will. Jack Harlow. Now, people that don't know who Jack Harlow is, unfortunately, I know who this guy is because I have to hear his song, seems like every damn time on the radio when he says, quote unquote, Sports Center top 10. It's a nice little catchy song, don't get me wrong, but it's played out. So Jack Harlow is the one that actually tweeted a post from posted a picture on his Instagram story to show that he was in the club with Lou Will at the time, when he quickly deleted the picture and said, quote, "That was an old pic of me and Lou. I was just reminiscing because I miss him." Hold up, guys. Hold up. Really? You gonna put up a picture of your boy Lou Will because you miss him? Alrighty then. So let's finish up this quote. So what pretty much happened was Lou Williams got interviewed by the NBA security about his whereabouts, and he told them that he did go to Magic City, gentleman's club, for a short time on Thursday night. As NBA protocol, Lou Will was tested for coronavirus. He was negative. He came out negative, but he still has to re-quarantine due to him being at the gentleman's club. Now, the real question is, what was Lou Will doing at Magic City at this time? Like, why are you at Magic City, right? That's the real question, because, you should know that, hey, it's quarantine. You're supposed to be at the house, chilling and whatnot. But, seemed like Lou Will had some other plans to have. So we're gonna check out this clip, and we're going to show you what Lou Will apparently was doing in Magic City. All right. So with that being said, Lou Will, you out there eating some lamb chops at Magic City? Because one thing I know about Magic City is very true. They got some good buns, and they got some good buns, if you know what I mean. I don't know. I ain't never been out. I maybe been there once or twice. But the point is, Lou Will, hey man, I understand why you went there. Some delicious food. I understand. I got it. But come on, man. How you get stitched out by a white rabbit though? Come on, man. Come on, man. Look here. You too old for that. You too old for that. You the vet out here in these streets, and you out here getting in trouble by Lou. I'm talking to you. Get it together. All right. Get it together. Man. The NBA life, I'll tell you that, is something different. Now, like I said, as always, I appreciate you guys for tuning in. We will be back, of course, as always, when our next show will come up. I want to say, of course, it'll be this Tuesday. So tune in. I will have the time ready. It will be this Tuesday. Check in with the Sports Plug. And you guys stay safe out there. Stay corona free. And peace, love, and happiness.